Emunas. Welcome to Emunas, our future weekly classes. We're inspired and excited to focus on emotional intelligence. This is a huge key for our generation to be successful and to do our thing. Now, honestly, today I've had so many obstacles to get this set up on live on our Brez of Israel feed. And that, I believe, is because, one, the concepts of emotional intelligence are fundamental. Very big people out there have understood, big thinkers, thought leaders of our generation, how powerful it is that we are emotionally tuned in to what our purpose is. Now, everybody in their own way has to find their path. Just like when we went through the sea, this week's Parsha, we went through the sea, Parsha Shira, and we sang song. This going through the sea, each person had their own lane, their own way, their own path of divine flow, of divine energy to tune into. And today I was trying to get this wonderful class, our weekly class, set up, and we didn't have the camera, and we didn't have the room, and we didn't have this. And so we managed to get it up on YouTube, and then over here it wasn't working. So now we're on Facebook Live and we're on Instagram Live, and it's exciting because, you know, we didn't give up, and that's a powerful principle we've talked about in our constant, beautiful posts that we put out there. Never give up, from Rabbi Nachman always says, and this idea of Az Yosher, of them we will sing. What is this concept of Az Yosher? How does this help us now with emotional intelligence to succeed in our daily life, to have success which is objective? Now, we already have a part 1 audio we're going to put up. This is going to be our part 2 because we did record this twice. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring together part 1 into this, because Az Yosher is a song la'asid. It's a song that we're going to sing in the future, and it's really important to understand on a daily level. We say these words in shul as a Jewish person. We pray from our siddur Az Yosher every single day, and in life, we have to understand there will be this futuristic song, this 10th finale to all the songs of history, for all the journeys of history. And this futuristic song should give us that clarity of thought that should affect us now. That the idea, the concepts of Mashiach, the concepts of redemption, the concepts of time where everyone will have a yichud, a unification, a oneness, strength, spiritual clarity. This concept, this reality, this spiritual truth of all of creation, this is within all of us on a deep level. All of us can tune into this. It's not just some, fantasy. This is real prophecy in the Torah, and it's something we live on a daily level. We pray about, we sing, and we have to internalize, because it affects us right now, because we're in a time where technologically innovation, everything's moving very, very fast. Like we just had, recently I spoke about in the first part, the idea of the Super Bowl break, and that was crazy how low down it's gone. As Ben Shapiro was saying, it's just so low, the focus is so sexual, instead of it being, which is ultimately this oneness, this unification, this inspiration, guiding the world towards a more spiritually uplifted, loyal, focused place. It's just pure chaos, and everyone's hitting on each other and hurting each other on either physically or spiritually, emotionally, and people are in pain, and people are expressing that pain. As we spoke about from Eckhart Tolle, there's pain bodies, there's all these things going on around and around. So how are we going to deal with our generation, the 2020 generation, or Generation Z, or whatever they call us, X, or millennials, or this way or that way, have all these names, and we call it in our Torah the Ikvus de Mashiach, the hill scenes of the hill steps of Mashiach, this idea of the hill, which is a very, very hard part of the foot, a very more down in the dirt, down in the lowest places kind of generation, and at the same time, as hard as we are, we're also very sensitive to stimulation. That kind of generation needs tremendous inner strength and inner values, and that's what we're trying to get from this week's Parsha Shabbos Shira, and we're trying to clarify with Parshas Aman that there is a constant divine abundance coming into the world. So it's not dependent on how good our social media and marketing is, even though that's part of our shtadlus, that's part of our efforts that we need to do in this world. We have to remember that there's a level which is beyond, that we have a mission, we have values, we have a purpose, and that is guiding us to succeed in our life and to have everything we need. That God himself, Hashem himself, for sure is going to take care of all of us, no matter how hard it sometimes feels. I just wanted to make a video today. I couldn't even get that done in the normal setting. And we are having a new video place built for our Prayers of Israel classes. But the point is, Emunah is our future. We have to be versatile. We have to go and make sure we get the classes up online, and we make sure we get the word out, the message out, and that's being emotionally intelligent with your situations, not allowing things to stop you from going forward. Because there's going to be a lot of things stopping people going forward. For instance, we'd love to do the Emunah tour, but in order to do it, we have to have the partnership. Now, what about maybe we come in smaller group? Maybe the Rav doesn't come, we just send one of his students. These are just different ways of trying to think intelligently how to go with the different challenges. And emotional intelligence is something for the workforce now. ET is something, is very, very, EI is very important. That we all need to have that talent and that technological focus. We also need to have that intelligence of how to use our emotions in the most inspired, proactive, positive way, because it's going to be constantly challenged. Versatility is something which nowadays, if you're not able to try and learn a new skill, you're going to get left behind. There's the AI and the VI and all these things going on. There's virtual reality, VR. Who knows how far this technology? Right now, I'm speaking on Facebook, I'm speaking on Instagram. Like a few years ago, these easy feeds to hundreds of thousands just weren't happening. So now we can just go and do it, and it's happening on a real life level. We have TikTok. I have videos out there that are going viral. One with Rav Orish giving blessings to children. Another one on TikTok with Nissim Black's new song Motherland Bounce, just a small clip of it's coming out, please God, on February the 9th, and it's going to be released on the BET network, BET network, and that's exciting. It's going to go out there, make a big noise. The song of Nissim Black that's never been done before, with going back to Harlem and giving that whole energy out there. And our unified concept is that even if we don't always understand exactly what's going on in front of us, why are there blocks, why do I have to constantly develop another platform, why do I have to now learn a new skill? Because Hashem's speeding everything up for a purpose. That's the Az Yosher. That's remembering that there's a larger picture going on. That it's not just as we see it down here, that it's just some small little world of challenges. But there's a larger perspective, the idea of Unity Inspires projects. I like to build this concept with lots of amazing speakers like Rav Orish and Yonatan Galed, the rabbis from our program, and then also other Rabbonim and other speakers like Nissim Black and Mordechai Ben Avram and other people who are slightly unique and different in their message, and it's needed for our generation. And at the same time, I'm trying to speak a little bit just to give over a little bit of my journey and help inspire. And then we have all the different musicians. We just started working with a guy called El Natan. He's a very spiritual guy, and he's been trying to put out stuff for years through Rav Orish's process. We'd like to renew that, and he has 3 beautiful albums on Spotify, and I've been listening, and they're very, very sensitive, very soulful, just like Yosef Kaduna's new song that he featured on with Ari Kunstler. Very sweet music out there, music that for the soul. We need to always try and find that music that can inspire us to calm and to have that aspodidus, to have that energy of spirituality, to allow us to not get down about the different emotional blockages, but to open ourselves up, to talk to Hashem, to have more emunah, to allow that emunah to give us that emotional strength we need to deal with our daily life. And that's something which, Az Yosher, again, this futuristic song that we will sing when the Messiah comes, is 10th song. And we said about the 10 Psalms from Tikkun HaKlali, this is the culmination of Az Yosher, and we're tasting it a little bit. Haftorah, also David HaMelech song, the Shir Shel David, and we're tasting a little bit what it's like to be in the future. And that's why Shabbat Shir is so important. Because in Shovavim, this is the 4th time, the 4th Parsha, we're really getting into Elokeinu. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, and that Elokeinu, He is our God. He is giving us that ability to be successful in the world, to empower us, to have the strength, and to have the will, and to have the simcha, the joy, and emotional intelligence, to have the ability to choose wisely how we deal with different things, different people in our workforce, different scenarios that aren't seemingly so easy. So we're going to end off today, because we don't want to speak too long. And we're going to say like this, that everybody who's listened to this should try think, how can I be more emotionally intelligent in my workforce? How can I own my family and my relationships? I have a relationship flow podcast. How can I understand that everything has a flow and that Hashem's constantly bringing down divine inspiration so that we don't have to have problems in our home, that we can tune into true values and we can tune into a force that's beyond ourselves to help us succeed in everything we're doing. And that force beyond ourselves, Hashem, to have emunah, to understand with that emunah that gives us the power to have real relationships, to have foundations. Excuse the noise. It's a little bit of fun that goes on in my house. It's nothing serious, but Hashem. So we have this ability to deal with all the different things in our life that are coming up, and that emotional intelligence is real. It's something which is going to be valued more and more in the workforce. So the more we develop it, the more we'll be sought after, and our skills will be valued. And I pray that everyone should have everything they need. Hazon es hakol. Hashem gives everything to everybody. That's the Parshas Aman. Remember, we're reading it today, and hopefully for the rest of the year, coming up to a special year of Shefa. There's been so much rain in the Holy Land. There's an opportunity now to tune into that source of blessing and to pray, to ask for open up the doors. And there should be blessing in our life, and everyone should have everything they need. I thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to sharing another Moon Weekly class, hopefully in our proper sound room with our brand new equipment, and hopefully everything we need. And until then, to be versatile, to make it work, make it happen, and to keep inspired and in love with our soul and truth of Emunah is our future. That we will sing. I can't wait to hear that song. We just have to turn down the volume of this world and tune into the deeper song that's going on in our souls. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in.